Hi, my name is Lilia Kirilenko, and I'm a tutor for ACCA. Well, I know that many of you feel not very comfortable with the SBL exam. Yes, that's because SBL exam is the only exam in ACCA that has a pre-scene. But it's not the only one in the world that has a pre-scene. I've been teaching students for CIMA exams for a couple of years. And when we talk about CIMA, they have these case studies that have 30 pages of pre-scene material, not 10 like ACCA has. So it's not that something that is absolutely new to me. And I know I have vast experience of preparing students for exams that have pre-scene, and I know how to do that. Well, as for SBL, the approach that I like the most is when we do quizzes. Quizzes does not mean multiple choice questions. It means that we are going to have this shared file. I'm going to put a quiz here, and then either you do that at home or we do that together in class. We are going to practice the theory. And at first, you will see that everything goes wrong, that it is very hard to formulate the thoughts. But the closer you get to the end, the easier it will be, because it will mean that you have practiced that skill of answering pre-scene exams, of answering these case study exams. Now, the hard part about SBL is that you are not given the exact theory that has been tested. So it's not that often that the examiner will tell you that you need to use ANSAF or pastel or Porter's diamond or whatever. Well, yes, and on one hand, it may seem that you can choose any model, but well, this is SBL exam, and this means that the focus of this exam is the person who knows about strategy, about the leadership. So they do not test you to be commercial director. They do not test you to be IT director. So there is a major in this exam, and that's why all of your answers should be aligned with the syllabus, because after all, this is something that the examiner is testing. Well, obviously, within this syllabus, you have the variety. So, for example, when we talk about strategy, we can talk about whether the company is going to be a cost leader or differentiator. Or we can talk about product development and see whether the company is planning to develop a new product or a new market or both. And we do not really have to name the theory, so you do not need to say that this is ANSAF, let's say, but you need to apply the theory, and that is the hard part. And by means of these quizzes, we will learn how this theory is applied to the scenarios. And you will see that it's not that easy. Well, for example, many students are confused with what is the development in product and what is the development in market. Now, we're going to have quizzes, and there are going to be something like 25. And these 25 quizzes will allow you to cover the majority of topics in this exam, the majority of the most important topics. And by the time when we are done with these 25 quizzes, we will have a pre-scene available. And when we have pre-scene available, we are going to have 3 classes, and during these classes we are going to go through this pre-scene and we are going to discuss each and every part. So we are going to talk about these little things that you might have missed. Well, for example, when we talk about September 2023 pre-scene, many people have missed the fact that there is a director that is super independent. And it turned out that many people missed that concept from the syllabus at all. So that's why it is so important to look at the pre-scene with the tutor. And yes, it takes 3 hours to cover that. That's a lot, right? but it will allow you to revise the theory and to understand the pre-seen better, because you will not have time to read the pre-seen again when you have the exam. Obviously, we cannot guess the right question. What the question would be. Yes, it can be about anything, but we can at least get prepared. Now, talking about the time, well, as I told you, this exam is very specific because it requires you to know how to answer the question so that it is applicable to the scenario, so that it scores marks. And usually it takes around 25 quizzes. Well, I would say that 15 is the absolute minimum, but I would actually aim at 25. And usually it takes us an hour to cover 2 quizzes, so 1 hour per 2 quizzes. And also we're going to have 3 hours of pre-seen analysis. And that will allow you to get prepared. Obviously, if you feel that it is hard for you to motivate yourself to go and read through this book and read all of this theory, we can study theory as well. Well, on a normal day, it takes around 20 hours to cover all of this theory with little examples. So we can add this and get prepared so that you do not have to spend some time on your own. So whatever option you choose, we can do that. As for the way that our classes are held, we are going to meet using a Zoom link that I'm going to send to you. We are going to work within this shared document so that you can attempt your answer and I can correct something and show you an example and so on, so that we work on the same file. Also, it will give you the ability to scale the file as you need to, let's say, move wherever you need and so on, highlight wherever you need, make your notes. And as for me and this Zoom session, so you connect to Zoom and you can just have it in the background. You do not really have to look at me, so you can minimize the window and you can just look into this shared document. So it's very easy. However, some people like to put an iPad or a phone with this Zoom meeting launch so that they can see me. Obviously, they will not be able to see the file that I'm working on this teeny tiny screen, but they can open it from their computer and work in their computer. Well, I don't really care, whatever fits you best. Also, I like to record our meetings and put them into the folder because yes, sometimes we feel tired, sometimes we were very busy at work and we are not that bright when it comes to the classes, and sometimes you would like to revise this little bit, go over something, so it would be beneficial if you could have access the video and watch the video, and that is something that we do. So this is how we are going to get prepared for our SBL examination so that you pass on your first try. And I hope to see you amongst my students. Bye.